Welcome, everybody, to Learning to Fly, the podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and Carrie's here today. Today, we're going to talk about the life of a project manager. So, welcome, Carrie, to the show. Hopefully, she'll be here for several podcasts. She's super busy, so we're glad you made time to be here. This is one of the first podcasts we'll actually talk construction. Like I said in the intro, we'll have a lot of guests and just different things about life. It won't be all about construction, but probably 40-50% of it will be. That's what we do. This show is sponsored by Basham Construction, ironically. So if anybody wants to take that spot, just give us a call. We'll let you do it. So welcome to the show. We hope you enjoy it, and we'll get started. So Carrie, walk us through how we met, how we got this thing started.
Okay.
I know it, but it'd be nice to hear it from your perspective.
Okay. So we met, I don't know if it was 5 years ago or something, at the gym.
Yep.
And we both love going to the gym. So I saw him there quite often. And then one day, I think we were just talking. We're on the treadmill side by side. We were talking. He was about ready to leave, and he gave me his business card for his first business.
Do you remember what it was?
Of course I do. Honeydews.
Home Projects.
Honeydews Home Projects. It was a cute little name.
Yeah, I was spreading that thing around like wildfire. I'm like,
Yeah.
I got 100 business cards and I got to get rid of them. Remind me to tell you a story about that. From the kitchen we just finished. Remind me.
Okay,
I have a
sure.
story about that specific
Okay.
business card.
So anyway, he gave me that card, and I think I actually reached out to him because I needed some work done at my house. Mm-hmm. And so I had him come out, and he did some just little things in my house or whatever. And then I hadn't talked to him for a little while after that, maybe a year or so. I don't even know.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
At least a year.
Yeah, at least a year probably. So, and our gym times were different, so I never saw him at the gym. So
Still don't.
I work out at home now. Sorry.
I still go to the old aquatic center, but yeah. Anyway.
So then, I have been homeschooling my kids since they were little. Mm-hmm. So I came to a point where they got older and I had more free time to do things. And so I remember talking to you and how you were starting that business or whatever. And I thought, I'm going to reach out to you because you seem to know a lot of people and see if you knew anybody that would be even hiring someone. Mm-hmm. And then you said, hey, why don't you just come work for me? And I was like, hey, that sounds fun, Yeah. So you invited me to just I kind of shadowed you.
Job
shadowed for about a month or whatever. And just to kind of see if it would be something I would like to do. And I did. I liked it. And here I am. Yeah,
and to back that up even a little bit further, we had another PM. She didn't last long, and I was a little hesitant, but I'm like, we do need help. So that's why we did take the time to job shadow. I'm like, I didn't want to ruin a friendship, and then I also didn't want to get the cart in front of the horse and be like, you may not like this, because it is stressful, But we're really glad you're here. We're really glad you're here. You've come such a long way. You've only been here, I think, a little over a year, maybe a year and a couple months or 3 months, something like that. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you right now, and I mean this wholeheartedly, from the time she started till now, I have not met a better PM. I'm being serious. I've not met a better one. Very, very thorough, very communicative, more so than me, a dude. We're not very communicative. So that's been a game changer. Just the attention to detail has been a game changer. But tell me, the first 3 months, just explain or maybe walk through what that was like. Because my training, whatever, is a little bit different. I like to let people kind of do their thing, let them make their own mistakes, let them learn their way. But how was that for you? Did you enjoy that, or was that a challenge?
No, I liked it because I think initially we didn't really know exactly everything I would be doing to help you.
Yeah.
And so you kind of let me see everything and then pick what my strengths, went towards more so that I could focus on those. Like you said, I prefer, I'm not really a desk person. I don't want to sit and do paperwork. I'd rather be out there talking to the people and scheduling and just kind of doing all that stuff. That's what I prefer. Yeah. So I did like how we did it. And you gave me a lot of time to kind of go in and learn learn the processes and kind of make them better if I know
Yeah.
how
Oh,
to
yeah.
or,
Yeah,
or
100%.
that. So
Yeah.
I think that was that's a great way to learn.
Actually, I'll give Carrie and then Steph. She'll be listening to this. She does all of our web and design, and she designed this logo. But I'll give Carrie and Steph credit. Like, they redid the whole website, Facebook, everything. It just looks so much better. I'm not knocking whoever did it before. They did a great job too. But this is just more like our style, I guess. That's one thing with us at Basham Construction is we do have a style. We have a way we like to do things. And we work hard, we play hard. That's really kind of the mindset. But customer satisfaction is always number one. And that definitely is something you definitely nail every time. So what would be your biggest, I guess, challenge so far? You've been here, like I said, over a year, a little over a year. What's like the biggest challenges that you've seen project managing?
I think just trying to get a flow, working with all the subcontractors, trying to get, a good team, make sure we have good, what is it?
Got good chemistry.
Yeah, good
flow.
chemistry. Yeah, because getting the right people is like everything. Especially ones that we all work well together. They do obviously great work, but that's really the thing I think is the most important.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's funny you say, like, we do have a heck of a team, and I'm a big football guy, big sports guy, but I relate everything kind of to football. And right now, like, we have a team that I'm convinced, like, we could go win the Super Bowl. I know we're in construction. We're not, scoring touchdowns, but like our plumber, our electrician, our tile guy, our framers, our trim guys, our painters, our roofers, our masons, I think I shared this with you like a week ago. There's not a single person that I'm irritated with.
Right,
And I do get I'm a perfectionist. I want it as perfect as possible.
Yeah.
Nothing ever is perfect, so let's not take it too far. But like right now, we have got what I'd call like the 85 Bears. I mean, we have the team to beat, and it's all because of our people. And you nailed it. Like the chemistry, like with our plumbers and electric, everybody's got to work together. Everybody's got to be like-minded. And we all have to have that same goal of, hey, we're not leaving till that customer's thrilled. Do we get that every time? No. As many projects as we do, that ain't happening. You're not going to get 100% on every project, but that is our goal. That's why we have core values. Everything is kind of a roadmap to get to that end goal, and I feel like everybody feels that way too, or they at least have those steps to get there. So
yeah, and even like meeting outside of work, getting together with our little group thing, group parties or whatever, just so everyone kind of get to know each other better. Because a lot of times one comes and the next comes, and they don't really talk to each other. But I think just having that camaraderie.
Yeah, like the Christmas party.
Yeah, Christmas party.
That was good. We actually had a pretty good turnout. We actually had 30 or 35 people, and that was only half of them. So we got a huge team, and we're very grateful for every one of them. They know that too. So yeah, project manage. So coming from working from home with the kids and homeschooling, all that, has it been a huge culture shock to you, or has it been, because it looks pretty flawless from my perspective. It looks like you just rolled with it, but that had to be a pretty good adjustment.
It was. Like you said, being home all the time, and I did have things to do with other families, so it wasn't like all alone in it. But I'm a people person. I like to kind of be out there, so that kind of gives me the outlet to kind of be out there, and then use some of the skills. Like I always had to keep the kids organized and all that stuff too, and so it just kind of helped me, get through it.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's definitely when we met and talked about this, I had a specific vision, and you matched it. I was like, I don't know if she could handle the stress part of it, because it is stressful. Like I said, I've had PMs before. I mean, they did good, but they folded under pressure. Like they just absolutely folded. And I was like, man, I really hope that doesn't happen here. But I think the way we did it, just kind of introduce you to everybody, not all at once, was probably a better way of going about it. But you've had some tough customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the good thing is you always have all of our backs. So
Yeah.
like that's why I don't think I would fold, because I always know you're going to be there to help me, or
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I always let everybody do their thing. I will put her on the line for everybody on the team. They all know that. That nobody's gonna. I will never let a customer run over any of our people. It's not gonna happen. So yeah, like I said, we've had a lot of challenging customers. We had a lot of awesome customers. Every customer's been great. We've not had a bad one. Just some are a little more challenging than others. And quite frankly, I think it comes down to like educating the customer on the process. I mean, we do a good job of that anyway, but my goodness, unless you sign off on every sentence we say, it's hard to keep everybody accountable. But it boils down to just educating the customer on the process. We do have a very good process. It's always improving. We did bring in a designer this year.
Yeah.
That helps tremendously too.
Yeah.
It helps you a lot, I know. And then like Tim and all the guys that actually use that book, it just kind of it reduces a lot of phone calls, questions, all that kind of stuff. So in terms of your day to day, I mean, would you say, I mean, you're not on every job every day. You don't need to be.
No, it just depends on kind of what's going on. And a lot of times though, sometimes I don't think I'll have time to get there, but if I do, there's always something that I needed to address. So I mean, being there as much as I can I prefer that.
Yeah. Yeah, some jobs you about have to be.
Yeah.
So like the littler jobs, I mean, if you do it real good, setting it up front when we all start, typically they go a little bit smoother. But your jobs, when you're doing a whole house, I mean, that's a 9-10 month process.
Yeah.
That's a whole different management style. But yeah, so anyway, we're glad to have you. Like I said,
Glad to be here.
The project management life, you do other things too, though. So you do scheduling.
Yep.
You do all the like anybody that calls for an appointment, that runs through her. Typically, she goes on, I'd say 90% of the calls.
Yeah.
I feel like that's important because they get to meet you. Like we just did one last night, and I feel like it went super well because they had a contractor before, horrible experience. I'm sure every contractor's had we've all had horrible experiences. So don't feel like whoever that contractor was, you're on an island, because we're all there with you. Nobody's perfect, but they were extremely gun shy about it. And had I went on that appointment by myself, it would have went fine. But having you there, they're like, oh, okay, this is your project manager. She will be running the day to day. It just seems to take all that fear and all those question marks away. They see you, they can see your sincerity, and I feel like it closes deals probably quicker than anything.
It's kind of nice to have like the team there, so they can just kind of see, who's doing what and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, we're big on team for sure. I think that's being a great teammate is one of our core values. Like I said, we've had, like when you first started, I mean, the team looks different than what it does now.
Yeah.
I mean, we got rid of some people. We don't hate them. You're not fitting our criteria, so we got to make a change, and we've done that. That's why I say now, today, I mean, it's January 18th, 2024. Today, it's the best the team's ever been. And am I satisfied with it? No, I'll never be satisfied, but I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that we have everybody. We're continuously adding people. But that right there is a lot of work, just getting that team built. A lot of people don't understand like football in terms of, like right now it's playoff time. A lot of coaches are getting fired. A lot of teammates are getting traded. Things are just changing all the time. What people don't realize is construction's no different. It takes years to build a team. I mean, years to build a team. And when you have a key player or a key division of that team just fall off, it affects everything. So it's very, very critical that the team understands like our vision, where we're going. Like I said, we have core values. I'm going to preach on that probably every podcast. It's so important that people understand this is the roadmap, this is how we have to have everything done, and this is why. And once they see that result 1 or 2 times, it clicks. It's like it's a no-brainer. So I don't know if you've noticed, job sites are clean.
Yes, yeah.
Trash is picked up. Customers are educated. Customers are informed. Are we going to miss something? Goodness sakes, yes, we are. But the process is always getting better every job. So that's been really cool for me to step back and be like, wow, we got 35 people that work for us, and they all get it. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's pretty neat. So, moving forward in jobs, every time we close out a job, I'll look back and we'll reflect. We'll take, 20 minutes and just say, hey, what can we do better? And we do that better on the next job. So our next podcast is probably going to be called Waiting in Line. And it's just because we have so many jobs all the time. Sometimes we do need to slow down and let people wait for a minute because we're people pleasers. We don't want to upset anybody. We don't ever want anybody mad at us. So we don't get that luxury of, we'll start it fresh at 8 o'clock on Monday morning. That has never happened in the history of Basham Construction. We finish a job, we may start a job Saturday at noon. Or we just go on to the next one. Like, we don't get that luxury of sitting on the couch and chilling out for a few days. We just can't do that. So that being said, what's our 2024 looking like, Carrie? Are you busy?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a lot of great jobs coming up and a lot of great people we're working with. So I'm pretty excited to see.
Tell us a couple of projects we're working on right now. We got a couple.
Which one? The big house? Or
yeah, we're finishing that
kitchens
one up. Yeah, we're speaking of the big. I think we should just call that the big house.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that job specifically later. We're super excited for that one.
Yeah,
and very, very thankful they chose us to do it. It's not been an easy one. They knew that. We know it. But they're such sweet people. And to get that end result, I think we're going to finish in about 2 weeks. So we'll be done with that. Big reveal on that one. I know I haven't posted a lot about it intentionally. The customers will understand why. We're doing a big video story, which I think will be really cool. I say we. The guy doing this podcast, Jeff, is doing it. So Campfire Video Solutions is doing that for us. So looking forward to that. It's been a long time coming. But what other projects you got going on? You run all our kitchens, bathrooms, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we got a few.
We have a lake house we're working on. We did an addition out back, and now we're working on the interior, which is going to be really pretty. I love that one. And the kitchen I'm working on in Zionsville. That one's just kind of going. It's going pretty smoothly so far, knock on wood. But that one's going to be great when it's done. I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah. What else we got? We got a bathroom, two, 3 bathrooms,
yes,
couple kitchens in Plainfield.
Yes.
Let's talk about that one in Zionsville.
Okay.
So we've got we're not going to use customer names on here, but a really awesome kitchen that, and like I say, this ties back to the team that we've got. We had a huge column that we had to work around, and Jose, one of our framers, he's one of the best framers I've ever met. He's like, I think we can, header this off, put it up in the ceiling, blah, blah, blah. It's all boring to most people listening to this, but he did the unthinkable, honestly. I don't get impressed very often, but we were able to eliminate that and just open up the entire space. And the customer, we had to charge a little bit for it, not near as much as other contractors would, but the smile on their face, and we haven't even set cabinets. These people are so thrilled just because we went that extra mile. And it cost us, a day and a half, 2 days? And that kitchen is going to be gorgeous. Yes. Like, absolutely gorgeous, free-flowing, nothing in the way. And it just ties back to the team that we've got. Like I said, going the extra mile. Most guys, I used to be a framer. I never would have recommended that because I know how hard it is. But for him to say, hey, I think we can make this happen. Chris, our plumber, holy smokes, you pulled miracles for us to reroute sewer lines. Kevin and Brian, our electricians, rerouting. It's just, we did the unthinkable. We charged them pennies on the dollar just to make it happen. And they're going to be so thrilled. And we're thrilled for them. We're just as excited for them. But it just goes back to the team and everybody like putting our heads together. Like, how can we make this better for our customer? And to me, that is what separates the men from the boys. It's just, it blows me away. I don't even have to ask them; they just do it. So, but that kitchen, I mean, what's the time frame on start to finish on that one?
I'm thinking about 2 months.
Okay, so 8 weeks.
Yeah, 8 weeks.
And we're basically on week 2, 3.
3. We'll be on 3 next week. Already putting the cabinets in, so it might even be quicker.
Yeah, I think it will be actually. Yeah, we're doing all the flooring, painting, cabinets, tops, backsplash, the standard kitchen remodel. But you guys will see the before and after that. Jeff will do. He does all our, like I said, all our videos, but he'll do our reveal on that one too. I'm super excited about that one. But let's go back to that business card.
Okay.
The honeydews, because it's funny. I do remember handing you that card. I had a stack of them that big. I was handing them out.
Special.
Yeah, well,
throwing them around.
Well, Doris. So we did her kitchen, and Doris goes to the gym as well, and I gave her a card there as well. But when I went to her house this summer, she just wanted to do that refresh, fix some cabinets, blah, blah. It turned into a whole kitchen remodel. But as I was looking around measuring, she had a little stand, and it had Honeydews Home Projects on there. And it brought a tear to my eye. I'm like, I said, how did you find me? She's like, well, I have your card. I'm like, I'm not called that anymore. That's 100 years ago. But she kept that card, Honeydews Home Projects, and I'm like, man, that wasn't that long ago, but it's kind of neat that's how I met you too. So kind of full circle, but yeah. So project management, like I said, you wear many hats, but that's, I guess, your title, project management. And when we bring on other project PMs, I call them PMs, she'll be managing those too, because I absolutely love the style that you have created. It is your style. I did not tell you how to do it, and it's very methodical. Everything has a step. She did do a job. I love being on this side of it, because the team, you say I'm going rogue. She said, I'm going rogue all the time. And I'm like, if you know Carrie like I do, I'm like, she's very just even keel. And when I'm going rogue, I'm like, I don't know what that means, but go for it. She did it still blows my mind. I'm being serious.
Okay.
When you did, I'm just going to use first names, Debbie's bathroom. I'm like, I think this is going to be a tough one. I'm going to have my thumb on this one the entire process. And we were busy. I was doing I do the bigger jobs. She does all what I call the cute stuff, the kitchens, bathrooms, all that stuff. She's a heck of a designer too, by the way. She won't admit that. But I'd put her up against anybody on that too. But she says, I'm starting Debbie's on Monday, and it's a Friday. And I'm like, I said it to my, are you crazy? I'm not even ready to even think about that job. Well, she is such a self-starter, self-motivator. I don't even have to manage her, which is wonderful. It's a humongous trait that is not, you either have it or you don't. You don't get to learn it. You either have it or you don't, and she has it. And she's got the electrician, the plumber, the drywaller, the painter, the flooring guy, everybody lined up. She knocked it out of the park, got it done in like 10 days. We had a tub come in defective, had to send it back. She took care of all of that. I didn't set foot on that job.
I know. I was like, hey, come look at what I did.
And I looked at it, and I looked at her, I'm like, please don't leave me. It was just amazing. And that was like the first one where you just like took it and ran. Yeah. Now you call me and tell me what's happening. Like, well, we're doing this job. Here's where we're at. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is great. So it's really, you're more than a PM to me. You're helping run the whole show, which is wonderful. And we do appreciate that, like more than you'll ever know. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
So I guess that ties back. She takes initiative. That's a core value. I hate to keep harping on these things, but they're so important. Taking initiative, I wish my kids would do it. Like we're in a generation now that you got to kick them in the pants just to eat dinner anymore. They'll go do video games all night long, but to get them to do tangible tasks, it's pretty tough. But so that taking initiative is pretty huge with me.
You can just call it going rogue.
Yeah, going rogue. Maybe that's what we should. All right, it's not called learning to fly anymore. It's called going rogue. Going rogue. We'll have Rambo stuff, bandanas, and yeah, that kind of stuff. So, anyway, what else we got PM wise? What do you?
I do the fun stuff, so I'll do all my little kitchens and baths and stuff like that.
In your opinion, when do you think we'll add more PMs, or do you think we ever will?
I don't want to right now.
Okay.
I can handle everything we have right now. And
You do about 4 to 6 jobs at a time. Yeah, at least 4.
Yeah.
You're juggling at least 4, and then I'm juggling. Like I said, I do the bigger ones, but I don't 3 or 4 at a time. We constantly have at least 8 jobs going at a time. It used to be about 4, now it's about 8. And I don't know that we do want to add any more at the moment.
Right now.
Yeah,
They have to jive.
They do have to. They do, and that is a
Special.
key ingredient. It's got to make sense. It's got to fit our style. Like I said, we don't pop out on jobs at 8 o'clock in the morning.
No.
I mean, what's your morning look like?
Well,
normally?
I gotta get my coffee, work out.
Yeah.
They say, "What are you doing?" Like, and then I just let you know when I'm.
I've never said, hey, like it's whatever. She does her thing, I do mine.
Yeah.
There's weeks we don't even see each other.
Yep.
My morning routine's you could set a clock by it. I'm at the gym at 7:30, and I'm out of there by usually 9:30, and then shower, eat breakfast, and on the road, and I get back about 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that.
Yep.
But you run your deal like you.
Yeah.
I don't tell you what to do. I don't need to.
Yeah.
It all gets done, and I think that's important too. Not having to, I remember my corporate days. I'm thankful for them. I really am. Because it's got me to where I am today. So I couldn't be here without any place I've ever worked for or anybody I've ever worked with. But not having to be in front of a computer at 10 o'clock for a WebEx, or I've got to call it this and I'm tied to that computer is like invaluable to me.
Yeah.
I think it's so important that we can do it our way and make customers happy. And show people there is a different way of making a living. There's a different way of living life. I think every family, every person should have their own core values. And don't take that wrong. It's like core values are just a little bit of a roadmap. Like when you run into a roadblock in life, it's not like you can go to this index and say this is how to fix it. But these are your values, right? These are the things that help you make decisions, help you grow, help other people grow, and those are important. They don't have to be a list of 100. They could be 2. They could be 1. They could be I have none, and I'm going to add another one at some point. But it just keeps things. It gives you something. Like this podcast is hard for me to keep thinking of things to talk about. It's hard.
Really?
But
He's got lots to talk about.
Apparently, I'm long-winded. I don't talk a lot normally, But this gives you something to go back on. Like whenever we have a problem with a customer or an employee or whatever it may be, you kind of go back to that. Like, what are we missing? Are we doing the right thing? Are we being selfless? Are we great? All these things matter. And if we're lacking in one of those, that's where you add a little bit of charisma to it. So, anyway, so we're thankful to have you. Project management is something that I didn't think we'd have in a million years when we started this thing, and I know our customers really appreciate you. I know I will shout out Renee. I won't use her last name, but like probably the sweetest person I ever met in my life, Yeah. And her project went pretty smooth. You ran that whole thing too. That was a tough one, very, very tough one. And when we left there, I'm not an emotional person, but man, I tell you what, it brought a tear to my eye to leave that place.
Know.
I mean, we have some amazing, amazing customers, every single one of them, even the ones that hate us. I'm being sincere. I still love you, and we appreciate you. We appreciate the opportunity you guys have given us, and we don't take it lightly. And as many projects as we do a year, you will never make everybody happy. You just won't. We'll have some guests on here that have ran businesses. They will tell you the same thing. You can be as perfect, as flawless, whatever. You're not going to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
You know, Nick Saban said it best. You guys probably know who Nick Saban is. He just retired. You know, if you want to be a leader, you're not going to make everybody happy. But if you want to make everybody happy, go sell ice cream. He's not wrong. Being a leader is a tough deal. It's not easy. You're a leader. You're leading. It took you a while to gain respect from a lot of the guys. I mean, that was tough.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a hot second. I mean, I've had to go to the extent of, hey, if Carrie calls or asks, like I have to sit them down and say, if she calls you or says to do something, it's no different than if I say it. And if you brought everybody that worked for us and you asked them that question, they'd tell you that. Like, that's how important it is. It's not because she's a drill sergeant. It's because she knows what needs done probably better than we do. We're a bunch of dudes. We're a bunch of men. And I'll be honest with you, we're not always that organized. And we're not always, that communicative. I mean, it's so true. It's refreshing to have that. And at the very beginning, a lot of guys didn't see value in that. But I'm like, hey, she's here to stay. You may not be. And when you say it that way, they listen. And then they see the value. Like, hey, we need X amount of tile, or we need this cabinet's broke. Well, if you leave it to me, it probably won't get done near as fast. She's on it that minute, and she's got all the contacts, and she makes that happen. So we won't beat the PM thing to death here. We love you. We thank you very much for everything you do. It does not go unseen, and the guys would echo the same thing. So,
appreciate it.
Carrie, thank you very much. And tune in for some more podcasts from Basham Construction on that end of it, and the rest of it from Learning to Fly. You guys have a great day.